Muted. What's up, folks? I'm now unmuted. Hopefully, you can hear me. Hope all is well. We are coming off the back of what I would call a lackluster Survivor Series. Others would say the worst one ever. At least not financially, because they sold more tickets than any other Survivor Series ever, I believe. Over 45,000 tickets were sold for a baseball stadium, which tells us that the War Games match type ain't going nowhere, unfortunately. I believe it's past its expiration date in the same sense as how Hell in a Cell is no longer a PLE because Triple H said it doesn't make sense storyline wise to always have a Hell in a Cell. It needs to deserve a Hell in a Cell. The same thing needs to be said for War Games, but it is what it is. This is what we have. I will discuss War Games a little bit. We've talked about it time and time again online and other videos. I will briefly discuss what my problems were. Then we move on to Raw tonight, which is supposedly, according to Triple H, supposed to be a big show. Do I believe him? Well, to be fair, typically the Raw after a PLE is a solid show or a good show because it's setting up new storylines coming off of the PLE. So it's safe to assume that Raw will probably be a bigger show tonight than even usual. And I'm a fan of Raw. SmackDown's terrible. But Raw, I think, will be good tonight, but we'll see. We'll discuss Raw. We'll discuss Survivor Series. I'm going to talk about Anna Jay and her possibly going to NXT. And I'll talk about Theory being in the division and all that fun jazz. Because the internet is... there's many opinions about Theory right now. Austin Theory, that is. I'm hoping that whatever they do with him, that creative that they give a damn. Do me a favor, hit like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And let's talk about the problems with Survivor Series. Let's see. What was the problem with this show? Well, this is probably the match of the night. Without question, Cena versus Dom. This was the match that got the most creative juice. It was the match that, frankly, creative gave a damn about it, which is why it was probably the best one. It has the moment that is probably the takeaway from the entire show. All usually you want for these shows to be memorable, for people to care, for people to give a damn. At the end of the day, weeks from now, months from now, what are people going to say about Survivor Series? They're going to say Liv Morgan returned and kicked I'm going to say Triple H, and kicked Cena in the nuts. And that's about it. That was the takeaway. Nothing else happened that was worthy of discussion in terms of a story beat or anything like that. Nothing was interesting or compelling, to be honest with you. I liked how they handled Cena Dom. I liked all the interference. I'm happy that it took all of Judgment Day to take down Cena. Took all of them. Roxanne got in. Raquel got in. JD McDonough got in. Finn got in. And of course, Liv Morgan came in. So all of Judgment Day got to shine in this match. I thought it made sense for Cena. I thought it was fun. People were complaining. Some people said they wanted to have an actual banger with Dom. They can do that with Gunther, okay? I'm happy with the shenanigans. I'm happy how they handle it. I'm happy there's something that actually has some thought into it. Having Liv Morgan actually do to Cena what Cena did to Cody. Like the callback there. Can't complain about callbacks and things that are actually thought out. It's the things that aren't thought out, things that are boring, things that are uninspired, that's the actual problem. When they're actually caring, when they're actually trying, I don't have a problem with it. Will, what do you think of the idea of Charlotte Flair defeating Jade Cargill on Saturday night main event, December 13th or January 24th. And then Jade wins the Rumble and gets her title back at Mania. That sounds messy. That sounds like, so Jade loses the belt and then Charlotte drops it back to Jade. That seemed like a lot of stuff happened before Rumble. Usually they want to have the Rumble stuff kind of locked in. They want to have the champions locked in heading into Rumble season. Well, guess what? We are officially in Rumble season. So I will be shocked if there's any shenanigans in terms of title changes right now. We are in Rumble season officially. Rumble is less than 2 months away, late January. So yeah, there won't be any title changes, I don't think, heading into Rumble. But maybe I'll be wrong. We'll see. I doubt they change the title at this point. So Dom, Cena, that was cool. I appreciated what they did there because they actually tried. Now let's talk about these War Games matches because I always say, once again, War Games matches have no stakes. There's nothing on the line. Doesn't matter who wins and loses. Okay, there's no trophy. There's no title. Get nothing. So your only hope is that there's an actual story beat. There's actual character development. There's character moments in the match that will then carry over to the TV, to Raw and SmackDown. So ask yourself, seriously, ask yourself, what the hell happened in this women's match that was story driven? Let's see. Charlotte Flair and Becky had a little moment where Charlotte Flair reacted to Becky Lynch, put up her pinky finger, like, hey, remember, we're friends. Remember, 4 Horsewomen. That was something that was pretty much brought about by Becky herself. I doubt creative brought that up. And even if they did, it doesn't matter. Why? Because Charlotte Flair is on SmackDown. By the way, you won't see Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss tonight. Because now that War Games is over, Charlotte Flair and Alexa will be on SmackDown. Maybe they'll be there because it's a big show tonight, apparently. Maybe they might be there for one show. But Alexa and Charlotte Flair are SmackDown talent, so that interaction means nothing going forward. So you had a nice little interaction between Becky and Charlotte Flair, sure. What else? There's a moment where Io was beating up Asuka, and Asuka called Io, well, not Asuka called Io. Asuka called Kairi over to help her. So that was a little moment between their little feud. Did it go anywhere? Was it meaningful? No, but they acknowledged it a little bit. But ultimately, it wasn't really anything at all, right? Becky tried to keep AJ out of the cage. That was a moment, right? Because they're feuding. Tried to keep her out of the cage because Becky Lynch is scared for AJ Lee. That was fine. Did it lead anywhere? Was it that meaningful? Was it that memorable? No. But it was a hint towards their feud. It was an acknowledgement of the feud. Okay, what else happened? There was a Riho moment. They've been having Riho moments forever now. But, Rhea Ripley did the little emote. They had a little moment in the ring, which Nia Jax crashed, which I thought was great. When Io Sky went and jumped into Rhea Ripley's arms and Nia Jax came out of nowhere and hit her. Hilarious. They acknowledged that, but no real story beat. Nothing of significance there. What else happened? Rhea Ripley was the one who brought out the trash can to give to her friend. So they're acknowledging the friendship. They're acknowledging the relationship, but nothing of any consequence. What else? There's strong showing for Last Legend, but that's not a storyline. That's not a story beat. Charlotte Flair saved Rhea Ripley, so they had a long-standing beef. There's a moment where Asuka was going to miss Rhea Ripley, and Charlotte Flair saved her, and the mist hit Last Legend. Cool. Okay, that's a story beat of some sort. The problem is, once again, Charlotte Flair is on SmackDown and Rhea Ripley is on Raw, so that moment goes nowhere anyway. It's a nice little moment, a nice little acknowledgement of the past, but that's all it is. Acknowledgement of the past feud, because they're on separate brands, not going anywhere. Not like Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley will be hanging out going forward, right? And then Becky Lynch tried to run away at the end, confirming she's a chicken shit heel. So what have we learned? There was not a single story beat or character moment of substance. I mean, am I wrong? Tell me what happened in that match. The only thing people will remember from that match, if we're being honest, Io Sky jumping off the top. And the problem with that is, does that every damn War Games. They can't. This was like the least creative, the least inspired War Games I've seen for the women. No originality, nothing of interest, not even a cool spot beyond the repetitive spot they always do with Io. They do it every year, so not special anymore. What was a special creative spot that creative delivered? It was nowhere to be found. They did the bare minimum. They did not care. Talent did a good job. AJ had a great time. Charlotte Flair had a great time. The talent had a ball. They had a great time in there. Great. Creatively, for the viewers at home, it was a disappointing, uninspired, lackluster job from creative. Is that fair? Am I wrong? The women's War Games match is a mess. The trash can spot is overplayed. Yes, I love Io, but they do it every year. That can't be the only spot. Oh my God, it's trash can. That's lazy booking now. They should do that. Sure, do that. I don't have a problem with them doing the spot, but do something else. Like every year, it seemed like they've done something before that was somewhat interesting, somewhat inspired. This year, hey, AJ Lee can't reach, Rhea Ripley, lift her up, give it to Io Sky, she jumps off. Hooray. But what was the character moment? What was the story beat? What was the interesting narrative going forward? There was none. So yeah, it was disappointing. And by the way, the men's wasn't much better. Let's see. In the men's, you had Cody hit Punk by accident. They got over that pretty quickly until the end when Cody brought it up for some reason. Well, not Cody. CM Punk brought it up at the end of the match for some reason. They had at the end of the match, they had Roman Reigns say, "Hey Cody, this is the last time we're going to work together. Last time we're going to team together." Teasing the unfortunate Mania match that's going to be Cody versus Roman Reigns, which I'm sorry, I don't want to see. Braun Breaker had a strong showing, spearing everybody. So they're building him up. They're building him up clearly, right? And of course, you had Austin Theory. That's who it was. You had Austin Theory jumping into the damn ring, and the whole whodunit. Who is it? Is it Seth Rollins? So they gave us something of substance. Who's this mystery person who's going to join the Vision? It's probably Austin Theory. Everybody says, look at his ass. Is his ass apparently? I mean, apparently he has a very distinctive ass because all the internet says is it's clearly him because it's his backside. I'll let you decide. So when it comes to men's War Games, the Mystery Man is probably the only takeaway here. I mean, what else is memorable about that match? It wasn't. So all in all, when it comes to War Games, they didn't give a shit. By they, I mean creative. Talent they did fine. They did what they're supposed to do. But creative was kind of like, eh. It's funny enough, this was the most successful War Games. Can you imagine if it was most successful in terms of box office, in terms of the turnstiles, in terms of seats sold, or tickets sold, and they gave a damn about creative, and they gave us some actual story beats and character moments? It'd be crazy. But they didn't even bother. So of course, I have no choice but to say War Games was a disappointment. Now, when it comes to before I talk about Austin Theory, let me talk about the other matches here. The other one, which was Stephanie versus Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella, God bless her. All right, I thought this match was fine. It was a fine match. Nikki Bella didn't botch. Stephanie didn't botch. They hit all their spots. They did what they're supposed to do. Unfortunately for Nikki Bella, this match just isn't worthy of a spot on this card, considering there's only 4 matches on the card. If this was a Raw or even a PLE with 6 matches, then this would fit in fine. Problem is, you have 4 matches, and this match did not deliver for me in ring. I was rather bored. Again, talent did their job, but there's nothing interesting, nothing inspiring here. They could have at least tried to spice it up. Maybe have Brie Bella show up or something. I don't know. But there's nothing spicy about this. There's nothing interesting. You will forget about this match in a week, if that. Once again, the only memorable thing that will last the test of time comes to this show is this visual. This right here, the callback to Cody getting kicked in the nuts by John Cena. This visual, this callback will stick in your mind. Beyond that, you ain't talking about this damn card. You might show every once in a while Io Sky, like the highlight of Io Sky jumping off the cage with doing the swanton with the trash can, but unfortunately, she done that or version of that every damn War Games, so it's gonna get lost in the shuffle anyway. This is your takeaway. This is the only thing you're gonna remember. Book it. This match is like a high caliber Nikki Bella match. Yeah, it is. She did well. She did the best she could do. I didn't think it was bad. A solid match. But unfortunately for her, this is 2025, and there's bankers on the roster, and I want to see Stephanie face the Hoopers. Okay, I want to see her face the Hoopers. No disrespect to the Diva fans and her stands. She done a good job, I've thought. But again, no botches. Did the best she could. But ultimately, I think I want to see Stephanie get in the ring with some Lyras of the world, or even Liv Morgan, and how she works in the ring. I don't want to see her face Nikki Bella again. Not in this capacity. Unless you spice it up somehow. I'd rather not see it. Solid match. It was okay. So, back to Austin Theory. So I was hoping that Austin Theory would be a baby face because he's getting good reactions from the crowd. Organically, he's getting over as a face. And I was looking forward to seeing him in that role. That being said, if it is him, which I think it is, if it is him in the hoodie, it was him who stomped CM Punk, I'm fine with it because it's a top storyline with Paul Heyman. That means they care about him and they put him in a good spot, which he deserves considering he's spent a year with Grayson Waller doing nothing. I don't have a problem with Grayson Waller. I like Grayson Waller, but a year of that tag team being not even the mid card, at the bottom card, doing nothing is a waste. Austin Theory is talented as hell. I think he's good on the mic. I like him a lot. So I'm happy if it is him, and I do believe it is. I'm happy he's actually getting in a top story here. Even though I preferred for him to be a face, I will accept the Vision role, especially if it leads to a turn when maybe Seth Rollins comes back and you have a storyline where you recreate the Shield portrayal by having Austin Theory turn on Braun Breaker and joining Seth Rollins. That'd be cool. Have Seth and Austin Theory working together. That'd be kind of cool. But now that I fantasy booked that, I'm going to be upset when it doesn't happen. If Austin Theory doesn't turn on the Vision. But anyway, I think tonight we can find out. Tonight we can find out if he's going to join the Vision. Because I don't know why you would keep it a secret. I mean, I guess they could drag it out, right? They could drag it out. Who is the person who did it? I don't know. Who could it be? They could drag it out. Here's a question. My question is, do you think you'll find out who it is tonight? Rick Williams? Wait a minute now. I would love that for Trick Williams. Austin Theory does line up with Dave Meltzer report, though. He was right about Last Legend, right? So, well, here's the thing. Last Legend is now engaged to Trick Williams. Wouldn't they want to put Trick Williams on SmackDown to be with his lovely fiance? It's probably Austin Theory. I think Trick will end up on SmackDown. Well, I could be wrong. All in all, Survivor Series, nothing of substance really happened beyond Liv Morgan returning. Like I always say, well, not like I always say. Like I said, Liv Morgan will be the takeaway there. She'll be the takeaway. Her return, you'll remember that. Everything else, you won't. Tonight, we'll find out about Austin Theory. Hopefully, it's him. If it's not, then who knows what's happening with Austin Theory? He's been out for a while with injury, so we'll see. We can come back to Austin Theory. Any questions about Survivor Series at all? Let me scroll up. War games, more like board games. Nice one, noob. Match was okay. I've arrived. What's up, Maya? No storytelling, no originality. Yep, I agree. Best War Games match was 2023. Bianca Belair, Flair, Lynch, Shotzi. That was cool. I like how Dakota Kai wrapped the chain around the trash can so Liv Morgan. So Io Sky could bring it up. That was cool. Bianca Belair came out with the double braids whipping. I believe that was that one as well. That was better than what happened the other day. Okay, I honestly think Saturday was the worst War Games for the women for sure. For the men, I have to go look. I don't remember. Go look and see. I believe that the whole Asuka and Io Sky storyline should be the main event, or should be the main focus leading into War Games. It should have been. I agree with you. Considering what we got, I do believe Asuka Io should have been more of a focus, but they switched towards the AJ Becky stuff. I don't like that. I would have preferred focusing more on Io Asuka, but Becky Lynch is great at what she does. She's a great storyteller. So I understand wanting her to kind of carry the mic work for the little build that they did. But for the little build they did for War Games, I guess I understand having that be more a Becky thing than an Asuka thing, even though I think Asuka Io was more interesting. Let's be honest. They haven't focused on the Asuka Io Kyrie stuff for a while now. I feel like it's kind of on the back burner. Maybe tonight we'll get a bit of a refresh. Maybe it'll light the fire on that tonight. But something tells me a lot of the focus will go towards Liv Morgan and Finn again, which they need to reestablish. Will Asuka, Io, Kyrie get pushed to the back burner? I don't know. We'll see. I do believe Liv Morgan and Finn will be important tonight. I think Stephanie might set up a challenger for Stephanie for the Royal Rumble maybe tonight. And of course, the Vision, who's a mystery person, that'll be big tonight. And you had those damn semifinals for the John Cena last match thing. So, we'll see how it goes. Liv Morgan should talk about the tag titles for sure. All right, let's talk about Anna Jay. Anna Jay. You guys familiar about Anna Jay? You know her very well. AW superstar, who currently, according to reports, contract is coming to an end. Now, I was not a fan of Anna Jay at first. I became a fan of hers later on. She endeared herself to me when she went to Stardom and wrestled in the 5-star GP for a little bit. She had matches against Sori Ano and other Joshis. Honestly, the Joshis didn't give her best match, in my opinion. Her best match was given to her by Xena. Xena is a very good wrestler, by the way. Very good. Australian. I wonder what happened to her. Oh, yeah, she got injured. I think she tore her ACL, whatever. She's been out for a while. Hopefully, she's coming back soon. But anyway, Xena gave her best match over there. Gave this passionate promo about how she wants this. She wants to get better. She's fighting to get better, all that stuff. And I became a supporter of Anna Jay. Came back to AEW. I think she had a title match against Mariah May, which was okay. Her problem is the in-ring. It's not great. It's okay at best. And her promos are okay. Okay. It looks like $1 million. Beautiful girl, which is going to help her, especially if she wants to go to WWE. Because I do believe they've been interested in her for a while now. Because of her look, I think they've been, that's reporting at least, that WWE has been interested in her for a while now. Because she looks like a star. She turns heads when she walks in the room. Good for her. Now, that's the backdrop of my thoughts on Anna Jay. Great look. Fantastic look. Decent in the ring. Decent on the mic. She does not work the indies. Okay, she doesn't work indies. So the only way she's getting better is her work in AEW. Which could be a problem for her if she wants to take a jump in the ring. Because I believe the only thing she did was go to Japan for the 5-star DP, which now I don't want to say only. That's a big deal, going to Japan for a little bit. But beyond that, she's not really working other shows to get better in the ring. It is what it is. Okay, so that's my thoughts on Anna Jay overall. I believe she's leaving. I believe Anna Jay is leaving AEW. Now, can I say for a fact she's going to WWE? No. She could go into acting for all I know. She could do anything. But I do believe she's leaving AEW. Why? Well, let's take a look at her tag team partner's Instagram, shall we? Here we have Tay Mello, her tag team partner in AEW. Okay. Let's look at this post and you tell me what you think is happening here. When the world shut down during COVID, Anna and I used to talk about one day competing for tag titles, or tag belts. 5 years later, that dream finally became real, and losing in the first round hurts in a way that's hard to explain. We believe in this moment so much. We poured so much of ourselves into this team, into growing together, into giving everything every time we step into that ring. Sometimes things don't go the way you hoped, even when your heart is all in it. It is what it is. But I'm grateful for everyone who's been on this journey with us and for all the love you've shown. Thank you for caring as much as we did. I love you, Anna Jay. Anna Jay responded with, I love you here, right? And then she posted a bunch of photos here of them over the years. Now I have a question. Does this sound like a post of somebody who lost a tournament match? Because if you want to win the tag titles, it's right in front of you. What you say is, we lost in first round, but we're not going to give up. We're going to fight and scrap, and we're going to get those tag belts. That's what you say if your tag team partner is staying. This post screams of, it's over, she's leaving, bye. I don't understand why she'd make this post for a first round loss, assuming they're still in the tournament, well, not tournament, assuming they're still in the promotion together, they can get a title shot later. You could say, hey, we're still fighting and scrapping to get those tag belts. What is going on? Well, on Collision, Tay got jumped or got attacked, and who did not show up? Anna Jay. I believe it's over. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. But I believe she's heading out of here. Now, NXT, Anna Jay. Is it a fit? I believe so. I think she has a great look, of course. So she'll fit. I think she'll be a fan favorite right away. She's young enough. She's only 27, right? She's 27 years old. which is young compared to what they're doing over there right now. Uh, Kaylee Armstrong is 31 years old. They just signed this other chick to a WWE contract, Jessica, with a Russian-sounding last name here. Okay. They signed this woman, okay, former rhythmic gymnast. All right. Sign her. She's 31. So see her right here on the right. All right. They're signing women in their 30s. 27 is young. She could be freaking in NXT working, grinding for 3-4 years before she's this woman's age. So she's plenty young enough to really try to grow and develop over there in the PC if she wants. She's only 27 years old. I mean, I don't see why she wouldn't do it. Take your behind to the PC because you don't like working the indies. So maybe a more structured environment like the PC where you're basically forced to get in the ring and work. Maybe that will help her develop quicker and better. You can work with Mariah May, maybe. Mariah May. You can work with Blake Monroe in a program. Maybe she can be her partner or whatever. I think she'd be fine in the NXT system. I think she'd be popular. If she wants it enough, she can work on her in-ring over there and try to get to a level. If she could reach a Fallon Henley level in-ring with that look she has, I think she'd be in a good spot. Honestly. Bless me. Bless me. Anna Jay, Stardom legend. Yeah, right. I hate Jade not getting booked on shows. She should be either defending her title on every PLE or should be appearing. When Nia and Liv were champions last year, they were both in War Games. I don't know why they decided to. Well, I guess they feel like Jade Cargill character wouldn't work with anyone, probably. So that's why she's not in War Games. Tonight's show will let us know the direction of Rhea Ripley and Io. I agree. So yeah, Anna Jay, I think she fits well with NXT. I think she's young enough to grow and develop before she gets to her 30s. And I think she's heading out of here, especially when you consider Hey Mello's Insta. I think the writing's on the wall for Anna Jay. We'll see. I believe she'll be fine. Now, I also said on Twitter, if I were them, by them I mean the WWE, I would not chase Anna Jay the same way I chased Mariah May and Stephanie. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is Stephanie is a premium talent. You move heaven to earth to sign that woman. And I've been proven right because she's freaking world champion right now, right? Mariah May, I think, is a better talent than Anna Jay. Anna Jay, I think, if she signs to NXT, her push will be somewhere around Zarya and probably Fallon Henley, somewhere around there. Maybe a little under Fallon Henley. But I think her push would not be as strong as Mariah May. Mariah May's champion right now, right? Stephanie had been champion 3 times over, right? She's not that type of talent. And she comes in somewhere between a Zarya and a Ren Sinclair, and she works, she gets on TV, she works, she cuts promos, she gets better, and hopefully she elevates to a champion, to being a champion. But she's in the Ren Sinclair, Zarya type of push once signed, I think. Then again, she is an AEW star. She'll come over with some juice, like the crowd will probably know her, and they may even chant her name. And because she's AEW, former talent, it's possible she gets a bigger push than usual. Because they like to elevate AEW talent to show AEW talent, hey, it's greener over here. You come to us, you get better booking. So it's possible she may get a stronger push out the gate. Even I would think so. She should make the move. Anna Jay should make the move. Anna is solid, but isn't special. I agree. WWE shouldn't move heaven and earth. I agree. I'd wait for Hayter or Thunder Rosa. I think if they wanted Thunder Rosa, it would happen by now. And Jamie Hayter, she gives me AW lifer or AW longer than I think. AW longer than I think. But yeah, I don't think Jamie Hayter is jumping ship anytime soon. If I were her, I'd think about it because her push has not been the same since returning from injury. I would consider it if I were her, but I don't know. I don't think so. The money isn't in JC. The money is in the entire Fatal Influence faction. Well, I'm a JC stan. I like JC Jane a lot. I think she's awesome. Good on the mic. There's overall great talent, I think. Good on the mic. Good in the ring. Doesn't put a foot wrong. Just overall strong talent. Can play babyface. Can play heel. I love it, JC Jane. Do I think she'd be fine without Fatal Influence? Yes, but I think she'd be better off in a faction as well. I see both sides of it, but I like her a lot. I'm a JC Jane stan, so can't tell me anything about JC Jane. I think she's awesome. Anna Jay is a Cody Rhodes signing. That's a good point. Anna Jay worked or trained in a Nightmare Factory. She has a connection to Cody Rhodes, even though QT Marshall is in AEW. Folks over there, like Mariah May, like Cody Rhodes, can put in a good word for her. I'm sure the WWE are well aware of Anna Jay. They're well aware of her, I'm sure. So we'll see. I think she's leaving, but I could be wrong. We'll see. I would like Willow in WWE. I think Willow Nightingale, if I were WWE, that might be the person I want the most over there that would be available. Or let me put it like this. That would be the person I want the most who's never stepped foot in the WWE before. That's what I want. I'm a big fan of Willow. I think she's top babyface potential. I'm shocked that the Tony Khan hasn't pulled the trigger there, but it is what it is. Tony Khan's weird, you know. Let's talk about Heyman pushing a kid. I could care less about Heyman pushing a kid. I see some people saying, oh, how can you push a kid? I think that kid needs to learn. And the parents need to have the kid in check. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with this kid. I mean, Monica Seles, anyone? Monica Seles got stabbed by some random fan. Like, people can say, oh, it's just a kid. You don't know what's happening with these kids, with these adults, with these fans. You don't know what's happening. You can't take any chances. If a kid runs up on you, you push him. He didn't even get pushed, really. This security guard grabbed him, right here. You see him right here? He grabbed him anyway, the kid anyway, and swept him away. So I don't care that the kid got pushed. Keep your kids on a leash. Okay, have some actual parenting. All right, don't let your kids run around and touch a talent who's a stranger. Okay, I have no sympathy at all for that kid. He'll probably have a good story when he gets older. I got pushed by Paul Heyman. Yeah, I don't have any sympathy for that kid at all. Fuck them kids, right? Becky Lynch is still going crazy. I gotta watch it later on. A 10-minute video from Becky Lynch, apparently. I'll listen to it later on. But she's a ref. Was this before the show? Was this before? Yeah, it was before War Games. Okay. I think it's the night of Survivor Series. Okay, cool. I'll watch that later on. Becky Lynch is on her Trump shit. She's just posting away in all caps, going crazy. If you think it's annoying, she's doing her job because Trump's tweets are annoying as well. You know. All right, questions. Let's talk about Raw. Raw tonight. You know, hopefully we get some good matches here. Gunther is facing Solo. LA Knight is facing Jay. I'd rather Jay lose, but he's probably going to win. Probably going to be Gunther versus Jay. Then Jay will face Gunther. I already said that one. And then Gunther beats Jay, probably. But I prefer LA Knight beating him, but that's just me. Triple Nose saying Raw is going to be epic. Yeah, because usually, to be fair, usually the show after the PLE is a big show. They got to set up the new storylines, the new directions for the characters. So I believe him. I think he's probably right. Tonight will be a big show. Probably get revealed for the Vision, whoever that Vision person is, whether it's Austin Theory or whatever. More stuff with Liv Morgan and the Judgment Day. I believe him. I agree. We'll see what's happening with Rhea Ripley and Io. I believe him. Maybe we may get an AJ Lee sightings. Unless she went back home. What's happening with AJ and Becky Lynch is all happening tonight, I think. So yeah, tonight will be a noteworthy show. A noteworthy show tonight. I believe. All right, got 20 minutes for questions. I love the moment in War Games when her and Charlotte were yelling at each other. Or yelling at each other on who was the bigger go. Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. Now, not going to go anywhere, of course, because Becky Lynch is on Raw and Charlotte Flair is on SmackDown. But I agree, it was a funny moment. It was a good moment. Because Charlotte Flair had her foot on Becky's head. That was funny. They were overhyped from the jump. I hate this account. Do I have this account blocked? Might just go ahead and block this account. Stephanie and Julia were overhyped from the jump. They be trying to get interaction from the fans. I'm sorry, from the IWC. They be trying to get some engagement for real. For real. But I'm not taking the bait. I refuse to take the bait this time. Their diva stands, correct, they are. Which is a weird thing to be a fan of in 2025. You would think if you're watching Raw, SmackDown every week at this point, you dropped the whole diva stand thing, but it is what it is. Could you see Bayley or Lyra as Stephanie's new challenger? Yes. I could. Didn't Adam Pearce say something about Raquel being in the mix? So maybe it might be a battle royal or like a fatal 4-way, something like that. I could see a scenario where we have a number 1 contenders match with Bayley, Lyra, and Raquel in it. That'd be fun. Give me a triple threat. I love me a good triple threat. Raquel, Bayley, Lyra. That'd be cool. The Kabuki Warriors. Oh no, here's the Asuka stand himself. The Kabuki Warriors should defend their titles against Bayley and Lyra. Yes. Why not? Why not? I don't see why not. What about Io and Rhea Ripley? I wonder if they'll have Rhea Ripley take a break from Raw and go over to SmackDown for a bit to help Damian Priest deal with Zelina Vega. I can see that. And then once the Lyra Bailey stuff is over with Kabuki Warriors, you have Riho come back over to take on the Kabuki Warriors. I can see it. The Asuka stands hate that idea, but I can see it for sure. The Kabuki Warriors might be placeholders. Oh no. To be fair, before War Games, they were doing great work, right? Asuka and Kyrie were over and doing great work. Most would say that's probably more likely why they put the belt on Kyrie and Asuka, more so than War Games build. But we'll see how they're booked going forward. We'll see how Asuka and Kyrie are booked. Will they be with Io Sky in terms of a feud? Is that over? Are they transitioning Io Sky to, I don't know, challenge Stephanie? Will it be a fatal four way? A fatal four way between Io, Raquel, Bailey, and Lyra? I don't know. The stands do know that Asuka and Io are shoot friends. They are, for sure. They're actual friends. Raw night. I'm thinking it'll be a good show. I'm excited for Jessica Carr. I'm excited for Liv Morgan. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair will appear on Raw tonight. Says who? I'm happy about that, sure, but says who? And why? Their SmackDown talent and War Games is over. They're not tag team champions. Look at this troll. AJ Lee is next in line for Stephanie's world title. Ha! That's funny. You imagine? Can you imagine? Looks like Riho, Kabuki Warriors, and Nia and Lash building something? What's the next show of substance beyond, well, before the Royal Rumble? Are you saying we're going to get a triple threat tag match for the tag titles? Are they going to really lean into Riho going forward? Will Rhea Ripley and Io Sky challenge for the tag titles at Mania? And watch the Asuka stands go nuts. Can you imagine if Rhea Ripley and Io Sky beat Asuka and Kyrie at Mania for the tag belts? The Asuka stands will blow a gasket. What I would do, assuming Bianca Belair does not return for the Rumble, I would have Rhea Ripley and Io Sky challenge the Kabuki Warriors at Mania. Supposed to be the crowning moment, right? The crowning moment for Riho to win the tag titles. Bianca Belair screws them, and Asuka and Kyrie retain. The reason why is obvious, by the way. Why would Bianca Belair screw Riho? Last time, coming full circle, last time Bianca Belair was in a competitive match, it was Mania, where she broke her knuckle in her finger. Who fell on her finger? Who did she blame? Rhea Ripley. So, coming full circle, by the way, last year, Mania, Las Vegas. This year, Las Vegas. She screws Riho at Mania because she blames Rhea Ripley for her finger injury. Perfect. Io and Rhea were both in that match, that triple threat match. Rhea Ripley and Io became all chummy and friendly while Bianca Belair was out in the wilderness recovering from a finger injury. He's pissed. He's heated. Wants to get back at her. Too good. Too good. Will they do it? Nah. Right now, I'm not fantasy booking Bianca Belair in anything at all until she returns. Because it's pointless to talk about Royal Rumble winners like adding Bianca Belair into that discussion before we know what's happening with that damn finger. I don't know if that finger's ready by the Rumble. So how can I possibly fantasy book her? I see people saying, "Oh, Bianca Belair is going to win the Rumble." What evidence do you have that her finger will be ready to go by Rumble? No evidence whatsoever. You're just guessing. So until I have some definitive confirmation about her health, I will not fantasy book Bianca Belair to do anything at all. So you should just cut it off. Yeah, that's not happening. Sheamus and Dom probably start some shit as well. Rhea Ripley is most likely facing Stephanie, and I'm not interested in that. So what? She's gonna win the Chamber? I doubt they have Rhea Ripley win the Rumble to face Stephanie. That doesn't make sense. They're saying a Chamber win for Rhea Ripley. I don't know. I feel like they'll take a break. I tweeted out not too long ago that I believe Rhea Ripley would take a break from the world title this year. She had three straight world title matches. I think they'll take a break. Same thing happened for Bianca Belair, I think, right? Bianca had Sasha, Becky, and Asuka, and then she had a break, right? Then she had that triple threat match. So I'm thinking, by that I mean triple threat, not triple threat match. It was the 6-woman tag match, 3-on-3. So I'm thinking the same will happen for Rhea Ripley, where this time around she'll be going for the tag titles and not for the world championship, but we'll see. I can see Liv Morgan winning Rumble and Jade versus Bianca at Mania. Sure, I can see that happening. I think it'd be a mistake, but I can see it happening for sure. It'd be a mistake for me. I don't want to see Bianca Belair facing Jade right away. I mean, what is this? Jade faces Naomi, then Bianca Belair. Like, she's only allowed to face other black women at Mania. I mean, take a break. She can face someone who's more of an underdog at Mania. That way, she's the dominant force, the dominant heel, trying to crush the underdog babyface like a Lyra, like a Liv Morgan, something like that. Assuming Liv Morgan is a face, considering she's a heel right now, clear cut. She kicked John Cena in the balls. She's a heel, right? So I don't love Bianca Belair facing Jade right away, but it's very possible it is. Charlotte, Alexa, Tiffany. Remember, and Tiffany will probably return on SmackDown this week. I think Jade could face Tiffany in a rematch. I think Tiffany will want her title back. Charlotte Flair is sitting right there as well, of course. They've already teased that. You have Alexa. I think Jade has opponents lined up. Rematch with Tiffany, Alexa, Charlotte Flair. You'll need Bianca Belair to win the Rumble and face Jade Cargill for crying out loud, okay? I repeat, must Jade face a black woman every year at Mania? Naomi, then Bianca Belair? No. Take a break, okay? Do something else. Somebody threw out Tiffany, Jade, Charlotte at Mania. And how do you do that? It'll be some weird chamber thing or some weird Rumble thing. Remember what they did last time? Everybody hated it when Bianca Belair won the chamber outright. Then Io beat Rhea Ripley. Then Rhea Ripley basically bitched and complained and got her title shot at Mania in a weird, wonky way, which I hated. I'm all for a triple threat match, but do it differently. Do it better. I don't want to see that crappy ass build that they did last time. Change it up. Okay. We have a few more minutes before I wrap it up. They will do the same thing as last year. No. The answer is no. The subject is closed. No, 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 no. Is what I say to that. I think Charlotte versus Bianca is the hopeful match, and Jade is a placeholder for Bianca. I think Jade walks into Mania as champion. I don't think they are invested in Jade Cargill. They are invested in the Jade Cargill machine. Okay, she will not be dropping the belt before Mania. Not happening. Walking into Mania, whether Bianca Belair is healthy or not, she'll be champion heading into Mania. The woman who won the damn Queen of the Ring tournament. All right, they are invested in her. The heel turn, the attitude, you're not going anywhere. Okay, she'll be champion heading into Mania. Bianca Belair, unfortunately, is not going to compete. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if she missed Mania altogether. Then I could just have her return at Mania. That's what you do at that point. If she's not ready for the build for Mania, you have her return at Mania. At the end of a match or whatever, I would have her screw Riho. That's what I would do. Screw Io and Rhea Ripley, Bianca. That's what I would do. What's Charlotte Flair Mania match then? Could be Jade. Could be Jade. You have Jade Cargill destroy Alexa Bliss, which would cause Charlotte Flair to be on the warpath. Get at Jade Cargill. And the crowd would be behind Charlotte Flair. But Jade destroyed Alexa. Charlotte Flair wins the chamber. Charlotte Flair faces Jade Cargill at Mania. I'm fine with triple threats. The issue is, how do you get there with the chamber and the Rumble stuff? That's the thing. I don't want a weird, wonky build. Yeah, Bianca's gonna screw Rhea Ripley by giving Stephanie a leg up. See, I have it Rhea Ripley and Io going for the tag titles, and Bianca screwing Rhea Ripley. But I know a lot of folks think that Rhea Ripley against Stephanie is pretty much a given. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised. Rhea winning the chamber, wouldn't be surprised one bit. Charlotte Flair has never competed in the chamber, and so this makes her likely to win it. Challenge Jade, yeah, it makes sense. It means teasing Charlotte Jade, drag it out. We're already in Rumble season, so you drag it out. Maybe have Charlotte Flair and Alexa try to get the tag titles back, maybe. Maybe they try to get it back. Have Tiffany return. Tiffany gets in a program with Jade Cargill trying to get her title back. So you drag it out. And then you bring up Charlotte Flair again. You have Jade Cargill take out Alexa Bliss. Charlotte Flair says, I'm coming for your ass. Charlotte Flair wins the chamber. Face Jade. Makes sense. Just gotta drag it out. Remember, Nia Jax and Last Legend are now on SmackDown. You have Charlotte Flair and Alexa facing Nia Jax and Last Legend for a little bit. That'd be a feud. There's ways to drag it out. Now, Jade will be walking around doing nothing unless Tiffany returns, but there's definitely ways to drag it out if you want to drag it out. Trust me, Triple H is the king of dragging it out. All right, any last questions? We'll wrap it up here. I'm gonna end it in like a couple minutes. Charlotte Flair is 100% winning the chamber. I can see it. And challenging Jade. Yep, I can see that. Not be surprised one bit. Not one bit. Which Raw star wins the Rumble though? I would have a surprise. I would have a Lyra. Maybe Bailey gets jealous of that. I would have a Liv Morgan, a Liv or a Lyra, a new winner for the Rumble, and Charlotte can win the Chamber with the goal of facing Jade. But yeah, have a new person win the Rumble. Lyra, a Liv, maybe a Jordan Grace for a shocker. We'll have a new person win the Rumble. That's what I would do. A fresh face. A fresh face. Imagine if Liv Morgan challenges Stephanie and then Roxanne or Finn screws her at Mania. Or dare I say, Dom screws her at Mania. Unbelievable. But there's stuff to do with Liv Morgan. She's in that ad, that Mania ad. Win the Rumble, face Stephanie. She could win it, or she gets screwed. As long as it's a good storyline. Again, I always say the belt is a prop. The belt is a storytelling device. Long as the story is good, long as the story is interesting, I don't care who has the belt. Okay, so she could lose as long as it's an interesting story, right? So Liv Morgan, Lyra, someone like that win the Rumble. Charlotte Flair can win the Chamber, face Jade. Like I said, I refuse to fantasy book Bianca Belair until I know what the hell is going on. I am calling for a complete and total shutdown of fantasy booking of Bianca Belair until our country representatives can figure out just what the hell is going on. We have no choice. Let me stop acting like Trump. Anyway, Julia teams with Asuka. How does that happen, and why does that happen? Because she's a Joshi. I mean, she's on SmackDown now. How does that happen? Crazy how Nia and Lash are actually Lash. Crazy how Nia and Lash are actually Lash is her replacement. Will rewrite that sentence. Still love Becky though. We all love Becky. Asuka barely knows Julia. That's the truth. That's true. Becky, a comedy act now. Becky's on par with Chelsea at this point. Is that a problem? Chelsea's a double champ. No one believes she'd have a chance against Rhea Ripley. Her character has been weakly built for years now. Becky's having a ball though. She's all about character work. Remember what you said in the interview? Doesn't matter if you lose. Losing doesn't matter. She is at the forefront of the promotion. She's telling a story. She's portraying a character. She's having a ball. It'd be different if she wasn't on TV, right? All right. The Kabuki Warriors are not credible. Threat to Riho. They can be. I want the Elimination Chamber in 2026 to not award title shots. Well, probably going to happen. Have the titles defended in the chamber. That will solve the whole problem of how do you book a triple threat, right? Because if the match, if the titles are defended in the chamber, then whoever wins, whatever, and then you can build towards a triple threat some other way, right? You can build towards a triple threat or a fatal four way or whatever at Mania without the chamber involved, you know. Sorry, I meant funny how Nia and Lash are friends, but in the WWE's eyes, Lash is Nia's replacement. Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha. Titles used to be defended in the chamber. Yeah, they sure did. I think you're onto something, or we're onto something here. Liv wins Chamber and challenges Stephanie. Sure. Charlotte wins Chamber. Yeah, Elimination Chamber challenges Jade. Yep. That sounds straightforward, right? Liv Morgan returns from injury. Big spot with John Cena. Wins the Rumble. Challenges Stephanie. Roxanne, Raquel. Where do the alliances lie? Does Roxanne try to help Liv Morgan? Does Raquel try to help Liv Morgan? Does Finn try to get involved? What does Judgment Day do when Liv Morgan is challenging Stephanie, right? And then on the other side, SmackDown, straightforward. You've been teasing it for the longest time. Charlotte wins the Chamber. Charlotte faces Jade. Straightforward stuff. Rhea Ripley and Io challenge for the tag titles. I would have Bianca Belair screw them, and Asuka gets her Mania win. Because you know they're not going to have Asuka and Kairi beat them clean, right? So if Asuka and Kairi are going to win at Mania against Riho, need to have shenanigans. Bianca Belair returning because she blames Rhea Ripley for her finger injury, and it comes full circle from Vegas last year with Rhea Ripley and Io in that match, right? Coming full circle, she screws Riho, and we finally start the long-awaited Bianca Rhea Ripley storyline with Bianca Belair being a heel on Raw. Bianca Belair goes to Raw. Okay, not SmackDown. Raw. Raquel is turning on Liv Morgan soon. I can see that. What does Asuka and Kairi do? I don't know what happens after that. I don't know. There's no champions. So they could defend the titles against other tag teams. This is what you do. You call up Tatum Paxley, and Tatum Paxley joins up with her friend Lyra. Assuming Lyra doesn't win the Rumble, you have Lyra and Tatum together, and they can challenge the Kabuki Warriors. This is actually great booking, Will. Well, thank you. We're much more in tune. I can't see Bianca as a heel. I can. NXT, baby. Hell, her match against Rhea Ripley, she was a heel. Well, at that point, to be fair, she's more like a tweener at that point, but she's a heel in NXT. There's not a chance in hell, Pedro. There is not a chance in hell AJ Lee's winning the Rumble. Not a chance in hell. That's not happening. You're not winning the Rumble. I think WWE women's don't mind losing clean. Yeah, the women don't care about that stuff. I don't know what's happening with the women at Mania until Rumble happens. Yeah, let's see the build toward Rumble. Let's see who wins the Rumble. If it's if it's a Liv Morgan or Lyra, something like that, it's clear what's happening after that. To see what Bianca Belair is doing. The Rumble will answer the questions. Does Bianca Belair return? If she doesn't, no Mania spot for Bianca Belair, I don't think. If she does return, it won't be like in the Chamber. It'll be like I said, screwing somebody like a Rhea Ripley, something like that. Could have done Bianca versus Rhea Ripley when Rhea Ripley was a heel. They're on different brands at that time. That's a lie. That's a lie. Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley were both on Raw. They had one little interaction when they crossed paths once. That was that. Because they wanted to save that match for whenever it happened. So Rhea Ripley was being a menace on Raw, ignoring Bianca Belair completely. He had that one face-off. That one. That one face-off backstage on Raw. Let me see if I can find that one solitary face-off they had backstage in 2022, I think. Yep, there it is. right there. See if I can find it without getting copyright strike. Let's see. Here it is. They had moment, one moment during Bianca Belair when Bianca Belair was a babyface champion, Rhea was a heel on Raw. They didn't want to touch it. They didn't want to touch it. And we've been waiting ever since. Well, that's not true because this year, past on Mania, it was they were doing something. It was just wonky with Io Sky, and it was just weird, right? It was just weird. Maya, you've been behind on the stream. I'm about to wrap it up. I'm not interested in a feud with them now. I am. A proper feud. Even Rhea Ripley said it. Rhea said if Bianca Belair and her are going to have a Mania match, there can't be any weird shenanigans. Can't be adding anybody into the build. It needs to be her and Bianca. It needs to be a good build. Like, she was clear about that. Like, you can't be adding anyone in. Can't be a triple threat. It has to be her, just her and Bianca. You just know that Bianca and Rhea Ripley have talked about it for so many years. He was adamant. You can't be adding anyone else to the build. It's got me and her. I agree with her. No shenanigans. What women's match do you see happening on Cena's last show? Yeah, I wrap it up in like 6 minutes. I lied. It will be 1 hour. Make it an hour and 15. Women's match. NXT versus main roster. According to John Cena, right? I see Sol Ruka. Would it be Sol Ruka? Probably. Sol Ruka versus Elira, or Sol Ruka against who's somebody who could cook with Sol Ruka? Maybe Charlotte versus Sol Ruka, or Elira versus Sol Ruka, or they're gonna want some athleticism in that match to par with, to go back and forth with Sol. So Elira, Charlotte. Won't be world champion. It won't be world champion. So yeah, someone like that. Well, no, it has to be NXT versus the main roster. According to John Cena, it'll be NXT talent versus main roster talent. So it can't be Roxanne versus Stephanie, both on main roster. I think Sol will get on there. They want to showcase. Maybe Jordan Grace then. It might be Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace, Lyra. Jordan Grace or Sol Ruka will be the woman on that show, I think. Zoruka versus Kabuki Warriors. Not a bad shout. I can see that. Not a bad shout. That's fair. I think Tiffany's cooked for Mania. I agree. I don't see Tiffany getting a singles match. That's for damn sure. So yeah. I think she's cooked. I agree. Jordan Grace versus Charlotte Flair. 60-minute Iron Women match. Whoever bleeds first wins. I think Oba will be on there as well. Loruka or Jordan Grace. Oba taking on like a Sheamus. I can see Oba, Sheamus. Then again, Sheamus is still injured. Sheamus is still injured. So I can see Rusev versus Obafemi, or Obafemi versus Randy. Something like that. But Obafemi, Jordan Grace, Soruka, those are your options. Maybe Trick. Trish and Tiffany going for the tag titles. He'll be on the show tonight. You're getting the Tiffany versus Nia Jax at Mania for main event, and y'all motherfuckers gonna like it. Okay. In that note, we'll wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much. We have, what the heck is Sean Rossap talking about here? WWE star has stated they're boycotting, I'm assuming Becky Lynch. Who else would boycott? Who else would boycott the show beyond Becky Lynch? All right, folks. Lola versus Maxine. Give me a break. Bragging. Tiffany bragged about how she'll have many manias in the future when it's clear she won't have a mania one. Tiffy can retire already? Jesus. She may be in catering. We'll see. All right, folks. That is it for the stream. Enjoy Raw. I think Raw will be a good show tonight. Really do. I think it'll be banger. So enjoy that. Enjoy NXT next Tuesday. By next Tuesday, I mean tomorrow. Enjoy NXT. That should be a good show as well. But yeah, I agree with Triple H. Tonight will be a big show. I'm believing that tonight will be a big show. A lot of stuff happening, a lot of news. So enjoy that. All right, folks. Talk to you later. Peace.